What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Thursday, February 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you're watching the Low Shack and the Bag Show. My partner, the legend, Lodo's Low Shack, is not with us today, but we'll be back soon. I will be holding up the fort, but I'm getting a lot of help. In 39 minutes, Babineaux will be joining us. We'll see what he's on. This is a massive, massive card. Also, Maxwell Smart going to pop in, give us just a couple notes of what he's looking at the very end of the show, help us with our afternoon study in NCAA basketball, and then he's going to come back on the late show. This is a huge, huge card. Huge card. 14 games in NHL, and I'm 7-3 over my last 10 NHL games, but both the last 2 days, yesterday's birthday pick, the under in the Battle of Ontario, it was 2-1 with 5 minutes left in the second period. I thought this was looking very good. Floodgates opened up, and then the Oilers game before. So I'm 7-3 in my last 10, but I feel like I've let you guys down because I made big points to say that there was so much value on the Oilers against the Blackhawks. I made the birthday pick, the under 6.5. So I feel, even though I'm hitting well in the NHL, that I really did hurt you guys. Rafa, I heard that Pete did send in the records. So we have the records back, updated. I have not seen them in a while. I'm very interested to see what they look like. I'm also starting to feel a little bit better. But we have a massive card. Now, one thing that we don't want is I don't want to just be looking into the computer, giving you out just information. There's nothing there. So I'm going to do my best to keep with the chat, to stay looking at you guys. But we have an enormous amount of games we got to get through. So it's going to be fast and high-paced. First off, Nikki Shore says, Jimmy, my man, thank you for keeping me off the Bruins. You know, there's been a lot of great work that we're doing together. I still feel like I owe you guys, though, because of the birthday pick yesterday and because of the Oilers 2 days ago. But there's 14 games in the NHL. I see a lot of angles, a lot of spots that I like. I'm going all in on this card, making a ton of plays that I believe in. So, Breet Beats in the house. Nice. As I'll be in Vegas all weekend. Let's make some money. Love hearing that. Breet Beats in the house. Breet Beats. And I am starting to feel better, a little bit better every day. And this is my 19th straight day of sobriety. My last day of antibiotics, so I expect the sobriety to end very soon. Shout out to all the cappers joining us. Vinny Cornell in the house says, Flipper13, looks like the only thing I tried to put in Jimmy's pocket yesterday was a turd. You were right and I was wrong. Nice call. You know, Vinny Cornell, we love you, man. You're a huge asset to the LoBag family. He did what LoBaggers do. Don't apologize. There's no apologizing here necessary on this show. Shout out to Vinny Cornell. You are a huge asset. We love working together. Sometimes we'll be on different sides, but just like Nikki Shore said, we can help by getting people off certain spots, on certain spots. In the long run, rolling with Vinny Cornell, he'll hit over 54%. Shout out to Joe Ramirez, Series Business, Hobart Herberger, Rosie, Michael Holthautzer, DJ Big Boss, my man Big Boss in the house, Andre Harrison, Paulo Marquez. Paulo Marquez says, hi, Pete, Jim. Hope you feel better, Jim. 3 games already in for me. Ohio State to cover, Northeastern Huskies 2, and the Penguins will come back and beat Florida. Very interesting spot here. You know, I think that one thing Breeds Beats should do, put a little futures bet there on the Penguins to win the Cup at 20-1 or better. But I'm not sure if I want to start backing them now. They've lost 6 of their last 9. Paco Healy in the house. My man Vegas Gun in the house. Ron Crawford, Jansen, Dan Kelly, Nikki Shore, Reggie Thomas, Fred Gialli, Christopher Reese, Filthy in the house, Nate the Great in the house. Okay, Stelly 18 in the house. What a great, great group. And it's time to get to work right away. So let's see that NHL record. I've not seen it in a long time. I'm actually, I guess because of that 6-2 day I had 2 days ago and 7-3 in the last 10, I guess it's going to be okay. But let's take a look at this NHL card or NHL record and see where we are at right now. Very curious, extremely curious to see where we were at. And I believe it will be, here we go. Okay, because I had an 0-4 day 2 days before the All-Star break, and I guess I fixed that 2 nights ago. 20 up 20.9 units, I'll take it, but I demand 50, and this is the time of year where we can start rolling in NHL. Okay, let's get to work. Dan Kleiss says the birthday pick is Pete's domain. Bad karma. We got to get you your own specialty du jour. That's an interesting way of looking at it, Dan. You're right. Pete brings so much to the table, and none of us would. I wouldn't be here. None of us down at SBR would have a job if it wasn't for Pete. He was down here 10 years ago. He created this video department, and he is special in so many ways, and one of them is his birthday picks. I miss him very, very much. Blue FM in the house. Christopher commenting. Okay, let's get to work right now. Devo Lane, Alex Barnett. Great group. Okay, first off, I'm going to need a lot of help here. Also, it's unclear which goalies are going to be in net. I do not trust Daily Faceoff or Left Wing Lock anymore, but I'm back with Daily Faceoff. We will see what's going on. Okay, let's get to work right now. 14 NHL games. Let's get to work. Hurricanes at Sabres. I'm on the over 6. I was on the over 5.5. And so why don't I just open up here and get the totals here. So I'm going to have to line shop as well. That's not going to be easy, but we can do it working together. I'm on the over 6. I'm going to get a plus 100 here at 5 Dimes. There's also a plus 100 at Heritage. Over 6 at plus 100. Okay, Sabres are coming off a 5-4 shootout win at home over the Wild. Sammy Reinhart has continued his excellent play with a goal and an assist, and the only goal in the shootout in Tuesday's win. This is what's happened with the Sabres earlier in the year. That they had that incredible first line, right? It was an Xbox line. They had that beautiful first line with Skinner on the wing. Skinner picked up from the Hurricanes, and you had Jack Eichel at center, and then Sammy Reinhart on the wing. Now they've split them all up. Now there's 3 lines rolling. So this is the spot now. Reinhart's on the third line, and they're scoring. He plays with C.J. Smith and Evan Rodriguez. They scored 3 of the 4 goals for the Wild. Reinhart already has set career highs in assists, multi-point games. He's 47 points, and he's just 3 shy of his career best. Now the first line, Connor Sheary, Jack Eichel, Kyle Okposo. Kyle Okposo's not the player that we remember, but he can still bring some size, and he's a skilled player. Second line, Jeff Skinner, Casey Middlestat, Jason Pominville. What I'm seeing is that this offense is rolling. Can I trust them for wins? I don't think so. And I'm not going to, but I can trust them for overs, especially against a Hurricanes team that has incredible Corsi numbers and always has the puck and gets a lot of shots on goal. Carolina's tied with Buffalo with 58 points, and they are very close to this wild card spot. Sabres have played 1 less game, and now the Flyers have won 8 straight. Like I've been saying all year that it was coming. It was coming, this Flyers winning streak. Let's keep rolling. McElhaney stopped all 23 shots against Pittsburgh. I love Curtis McElhaney. He's earned everything he's got, but it says Mrazek's going to be the starting goalie. I still think it's going to be McElhaney. The win was the first of a 5-game trip, that 4-0 win over the Penguins. Very, very impressive win over the Penguins in Pittsburgh. And McElhaney's 12-6-1 this year, playing very, very good hockey. The Hurricanes are 11-4-1 in their last 16. Rod Brindamore is playing great, coaching great, sorry. He's doing such a great job coaching this team. 4-1-1 in their last 6. The Canes are only missing Jordan Stahl. Richie Rich, Carolina 5-0, head-to-head last 5. Christopher Comentini, Sabres 2-for-2 on the power play. Also, I love this power play they have. I love it. Deli 18 says, I love when I kept my games and Jimmy's on what I like. Carolina Buffalo over 6. And we're getting a nice spot. Gate pass key, Canes and over. I definitely support the Canes play. I'm not going to jump on it just because of how good they looked against Pittsburgh and the Sabres being at home here. I think it's a nice spot, though. I feel it. I'm on the over 6 at plus 100. Let's keep rolling. Gate pass key says, very smart to spread them out long term, meaning the 3 lines for the Sabres, Housley's call. Shows where they need spots to be a contending team. But from a capper's perspective, very volatile. Lean Canes and over. Hey, it's great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. And Ron Lofton says, yes, a little worried about our man Angel. I haven't seen him here in a bit. Yes, Angel Romero. Where is our man Angel Romero? I will look into that as well. Okay, let's keep rolling right along. We got a lot to get through and not a lot of time. Penguins at Panthers. See, to me, this is a stay-off game. I'm waiting for the Penguins to get right. As soon as this Penguins team gets right, I just took them a few days ago on Sunday. I took them 11-1 to win the East, 20-1 to win the Cup. But I need to know when Malkin's going to come back. And it's a hand injury that we're dealing with. Also, they have Murray versus Luongo on all the sites. I expect it to be Casey DeSmith versus James Reimer. Reimer's playing very well, and Murray's hurt. He's got another lower body injury. So Thursday's game in Florida will be the first time that they reunite since that trade. Brassard and Sheehan for Bukestad and McCann. Panthers are in a stretch where they play 12 of their next 13 games at home, or 12 of 13 games at home. They've already gone through 4 games, and they're just 2-2. They lost to the Blues 3-2 on Tuesday night. They led 2-0 with 17 minutes left in that game. I was on the under in that game, and I almost lost it. Penguins are coming off that embarrassing 4-0 loss. Now, is this team like the Tampa Bay Lightning that always comes back strong after a loss? They don't have Malkin. Hopefully they have him. There's no word on whether he'll be in the lineup tonight with that hand injury. This, to me, is a stay-off game. But I'm looking at the Twitter here. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are on, what you guys like, so we can work together and be at a very brisk pace. And I got to keep my goddamn cool. So I'm just getting over pneumonia. Okay, let's keep rolling. Okay, there's spots I really like here. Here's one of them. Islanders at Devils. I'm on the Islanders -1.5. The Devils just traded Brian Boyle, who is the most important person in that dressing room. A cancer survivor, a heart and soul character guy. They traded him for a second-round draft pick. Boyle is a power play specialist in front of the net. Reminds me a little bit, I mean, of course, he's not nearly as good, but he just reminds me a little bit of Dave Andreychuk in front of the net on the power play. I probably shouldn't compare him to Dave Andreychuk, the legend Andreychuk, but he does remind me a little bit. Also, they don't have Taylor Hall. Now they don't have their number 1 defenseman, Sami Vatanen, out with a concussion. So they have Hall out, Vatanen out. They just traded their most important person in the dressing room. I say we fade the Devils almost every single game going forward. I think they're going to go for that first overall pick. I think they're going to start losing, and losing. Islanders are coming off a 3-1 loss at Boston on Tuesday night. They're calling each other out in the dressing room. Not in a negative way, but they got to play more accountable. Barry Trotz has turned this team into a winning hockey club. They demand wins. They expect wins. And they lose 3-1 at Boston. Boston's such a great home team, and they're beating themselves up. Wow, Trevor Loudon says Schneider in net too. Wow, I did not know that. This is great stuff. That makes me even more confident. Let's grab it right now. Okay, Islanders -1.5. Let's just go to NHL only because don't have a lot of time, and we got Babineaux coming here soon. Islanders -1.5 here. This is a play I like very much. And let's see, Islanders -1.5 plus 215 at 5 dimes. I'm not going to line shop. That's enough for me. Plus 215. I got to keep a brisk pace here. I'm taking the Islanders -1.5 at plus 215. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep rolling. Kings at Flyers. I already just saw, who was it? I just saw Allison say Flyers. Listen, Tomor and I have been going back and forth about this Flyer squad all year, and it's been good. It's not a negative thing, Tomor and I going back and forth. It's been good. I said, wait till they win 9 straight like they do every year. Now, they're going to beat the Kings tonight. Then they're going to beat the Ducks. I don't know if it's tomorrow night or the night after. I don't have it in my head right now. But they're going to win 10 straight games. Gabe Pasky says, Islanders puck line, is it? Exactly what I was thinking. Boyle is gone, the soul of the team. Why do you think Nashville pick him up? Not for his scoring, but for his character. Absolutely right, Gabe Pasky. I think it's a spectacular pickup. Any team would want Brian Boyle in their dressing room. He's a hell of a player, hell of a guy. Okay, Flyers -1.5. Yes, the Kings are playing well. Again, this is another situation where it says Jack Campbell's going to be in goal. Jack Campbell's been playing very well. But I would be shocked if they don't go back to Johnny Quick. Johnny Quick's not injured. Carter Hart, Rookie of the Month in January, 41 saves in that 2-1 win over the Canucks on Monday. Listen to what Sean Couturier says about him. He says he's making some miracles out there. It's nice to have him back there. He can steal one. The Kings were dominant in their most recent game against the Devils. Tyler Toffoli, I don't know where the hell he's been all year, but he stepped up. He has 6 points in his last 4 games. Anze Kopitar, 3 assists. Jack Campbell played very well. Jeff Carter still listed as questionable right now. Also, Nate Thompson did come back. He sat out 2 games with flu-like symptoms. Don Regis says Boyle's a great pickup for any team. You're absolutely right. But the Kings are playing very good hockey. The Flyers have not been covering puck lines. But I'm taking this Flyers -1.5 tonight. I think they keep rolling. And I'm not entirely sure if the Kings actually have turned the corner. And let's see what line I'd get right now on this Flyers team -1. I'm getting a nice number because of how well the Kings are playing. There's a +170 at 5 dimes, a +171 at Heritage. I'd love to know, what the Greek is +165. What bet on Bet365 +165 too. Okay, great. I'll take the +171 available at Heritage. We are rolling, and we're getting our big puck lines, which is what we want, which is why my record, it was coming so quickly. Shout out to Ike Johnson. It was coming so quickly. I didn't even see I didn't even see what my percentage is, but I believe it's like 43% or something like that. And it's because we're taking these big puck lines, and it allows us to lose more than we win and make up cash. Okay, Omaha 88 says, I give up in hockey. I'm Spanish. Listen, there's a lot of other opportunities. I'm just going to throw out some plays that I believe in here, and we'll move on because we got some very exciting work on the hardwood, and we love you, Omaha 88. Nate the Great says Stolars is in net. Thank you so much, Nate the Great. This is so helpful, you guys, letting me know when I've got the wrong goalie because of these damn websites. I really, really love hearing this. Stolars look great. Carter Hart is setting an example and set a bar. Usually, I wouldn't really like Stolars, but there's something magical happening with this crew, and I'm going to take the Flyers -1.5 at +171. Omaha 88 says, I'm not a white guy from Canada. I give up. Hey, man. I hear you. I hear you. But listen, it's about making money. And that's something that I know I can provide for you guys every single year in NHL, whereas I know that I can smash NHL. I know I can beat NBA. And you guys saw the debacle of my baseball season, which still just absolutely terrorizes me. Okay, but let's keep rolling. I'm on the Capitals on the puck line. Something is wrong in Colorado. Capitals are coming off a 3-2 home win over the Canucks on Tuesday night. That last 7 seconds goal by the Canucks screwed our puck line. But I think the Capitals are going to get rolling. They're completely healthy. I expect them to get on a roll. Avs are coming off a 6-3 loss at home to the Blue Jackets on Tuesday. Listen, I would go on the over, but I'm not going to do it because, I don't like taking over 6.5. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Shout out to King Rail joining us. That's so helpful. And we ate with the Bucks yesterday. That was absolutely right. I didn't eat as well as you, man. I wasn't first quarter, first half full game, or team total over, all that stuff. I just had them full game. But shout out to King Rail. King, please stay for our NBA segment. It's a really, really tough time of year for NBA, and I really could use your help. Capitals, -1.5. Something is wrong with these apps. 6-3 loss at home to the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets lost 5 straight. They have a 5-game homestand. First game, they beat the Kings 7-1. They lose the next 4 by a combined 20-7. They have the NHL's worst record since December 7th. And they can't blame injuries. They're just playing bad hockey. Nikki Shore says, Jimmy, you think the Blackhawks keep rolling? I can't wait to get to that game. Christopher Comtini says, Gate Pass Key, would you take the Pens tonight? Please, we have a lot of great NHL cappers here, and Gate Pass Key is one of them, so let's just all work together and be a team. Gate Pass Key says, Caps are getting it done. Yeah, puck line. I agree. I also think there's going to be goals. And I may add some team total overs at some point. Don't have time. We got to keep rolling through here. Here we go. Capitals -1.5. Wow, getting huge, huge numbers here. +185 at 5 dimes, and that's what I will take. I'd love to know what Bet365 is giving. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to check it really quick, see what Bet365 is giving. If it's better than +185, it's not. +180. Okay, so we're going to take the Capitals -1.5 at +185. That's available at 5 dimes. -1.5 at +185. Okay, let's keep rolling. We're going to have Babineaux in here soon. We got a lot of games to get through. Here's another spot. Jets at Canadiens. I really want to hear what you guys feel about this spot. I am not going to make a move here. Shout out to the Williams sisters joining us. We love the Williams sisters. They're LoBaggers, whom we love very much. Okay, let's keep rolling. Jets at Canadiens. Let's take a quick look at what we're talking about with this spot. Because, I like the Jets to come in here after that 3-2 loss in the Sharks and take care of business. But Montreal's playing well. Carey Price is playing spectacularly well. And I just don't know if I'm going to make the move. I do think they're a better team than the Canadiens. And I do think they're going to get up for this game with the Canadiens. I think maybe the Jets is the spot right now. But let's just talk about it really quickly. Canadiens coming off that easy 4-1 win at home over Anaheim. I also think that helps us. They're 7-1-1 since January 12th. I was completely wrong about the Habs this year. And a lot of you guys were right. I was wrong. Carey Price playing spectacularly well. 1.33 goals against average, 957 save percentage during a 6-game winning streak. This will be the 6th of 7 straight home games for the Habs. They're in a good spot, but Paul Byron day-to-day. Andrew Shaw still not returned from his neck injury. Thomas Tatar dealing with an illness. Jets had their 3-game winning streak snapped. They're going to have Bufflin back. Stelly18 says Jets can't score on the road. I like the Jets here. I do. I like the Jets here. I don't need them to win in glorious fashion. I could take the Jets just winning the game outright. I could take the Jets, and Jesse Cole saying Bufflin going to be back. I could take the Jets winning this game in a shootout. I just think they're the better team than the Habs. They're coming off of a loss. I really think this is a spot, and I'm going to jump on them. But just on the money line here, I'm getting a -107 at Pinnacle, and I'll just take it. I'm just going to take the Jets on the money line at -107. Perfect. Gate Pass Key says Jets is a down spot for the Habs. Price has been at home too many days, tends to struggle in that spot. Very, very sharp. Good spot, Gate Pass Key. You're right. Because there's stuff going on in his family life, but he's playing very, very well right now. But we're hearing rumors coming out about what's going on in his family life right now. Okay. Greg says, I love this NBA card so much. Ready to cash in big time tonight. Thank God. Okay, Gerhard, we got to work together. Let's keep rolling. I'm now on the Jets money line. That wasn't a play that I was going to take coming in. Here we go. Ducks at Senators. And Copley's in goal. Jim Romsadu says, that will be fine. They just rewarded him with that $3.3 million contract. I'm not concerned, and I don't think there's a big difference between him and Holtby. Quickly, do we know if Gibson's going to be in goal for the Ducks? I know he's being pulled out of his last 3 games, but I'm going to take the Ducks, and I'm going to take the Ducks to win convincingly. They're rested. Senators on the second half of a back-to-back. I'm going to take the Ducks to win -1.5. But you know what? I just won't do that if Chad Johnson's in goal. I just won't do that if Chad Johnson is in goal. Nate the Great says, I like Senators solo over. Gibson's been playing terrible. I need to know if Gibson's in goal. Jesse Cole says, Anaheim has no confidence hanging Gibson out to try every night. Paco Healy says, Jets -1.5. Juicy. It is juicy. But you have such an enormous advantage with the Jets when it comes to overtime and shootouts. But I can hear, oh, there's Angel Romero back in action. Beautiful. Love seeing you. Great. Okay. Can anyone let me know if Gibson's confirmed? And listen, if Gibson isn't confirmed, Gibson in net. Okay. Gibson's going to come back. He's got to come back. He's just too good of a goalie. 3 terrible, terrible games, that terrible all-star game. I'm going to take the Ducks here. Each team's lost 5 in a row. Senators on the second half of back-to-back. Senators, as was mentioned in the chat, 2-7-2 in the second half of back-to-backs. They're only missing Mikkel Boker. In the past 5 games, Anaheim's been outscored 27-6. They just have too many veterans, too many Getzlaffs, too many Corey Perrys on this team, and they're 2-13-4, but they're only 3 points out of a wild card spot. The Ducks have struggled to score all season. They're healthier than they've been now. All right, gonna have another sip. Richie Rich says Anderson in net for Ottawa. That's not going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. Anders Nilsson will be in goal. I think that's a mistake by these sites not putting in their due diligence. I think Anders Nilsson will be in goal. I'm going to take the Ducks. And here, I'm actually going to take the Ducks for a score here. I'm not doing it in Winnipeg, but I'm doing it. Oh, and Gate Pass Key says it's the players in front of him. Dryden play for the Ducks tonight and get shelled. Sends puck line. Very, very interesting. I hear you, Gate Pass Key. I actually think this is a spot that the Ducks are going to come together. They have too much veteran leadership. Getzlaff's going to be accountable. They're rested. They've been in Ottawa. You think you're going to go out in Ottawa? No. They're rested. They're sober. And they're ready to play some good hockey or better hockey. Look at this. Okay, so I'm going to have to take the reverse puck line. I'm going to have to take a reverse puck line at Bet365. I'm going to need somebody to... you know what? When Babineaux comes on, I'll find out what the reverse puck line is. I'm going to take the Ducks to win by more than a goal for a huge score here. Trevor Loudon, great hockey capper, says Gibson is not horrible. I think he's fed up with standing on his head after getting shit on by Carlisle. I really believe that there's a huge, huge score to get. Now, when I'm taking Ducks -1.5 and not taking the Jets, that's because I fear Carey Price quite a bit. I fear Carey Price, and I might need the Jets to squeak out a low-scoring game. And I'm going to take that. Okay, I'm going to take the reverse puck line on the Ducks for a giant score. Golden Knights at Red Wings. First off, I know there's a lot of talk about what we're going to do on this spot. I am going to take the under, and I'm probably going to take the Red Wings. But I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this spot. I am going to take the under. Knights have stopped a 4-game losing streak with a really impressive 3-2 shootout victory over the Lightning. They're not scoring goals. They outshot the Lightning 37-26. They're just not scoring goals. Ryan Carpenter also helped off the ice second period after getting checked in the boards, unlikely to play Thursday. They've scored 2 or fewer goals in regulation over their last 5 games. And this Detroit team is playing very, very well defensively. They're a well-rested group coming off 3rd straight win, 2-0 in Ottawa. They're going to miss Tyler Bertuzzi. Sadly, he's out of the lineup. But they will have Dylan Larkin back. Trevor Daley's still out. Matt Randall saying under. I agree completely. I'm probably not going to take Detroit. I think there's value there. But I'm probably not going to take him. But what I will do is I will take this under in the Detroit game, and I will take it confidently because I know that there is a 6 here, and I'm getting -115 at 5 dimes, 6 -115, and I'm on it. I'm on this spot here under 6 at -115. And to be honest with you, oh, shout out to DJ Big Boss, hammered Georgetown last night. When you take a dog and you take him first half, full game, I have enormous respect for that. Great job, DJ Big Boss. Baseball Smoker says, where's Loshak? Loshak is taking a little break, but he will be back I promise you he will be back on this show. He's my partner, and he's doing fine, and he's going to be back. You know, it's a stressful job, and everybody needs a break sometimes. Pete is taking one right now, but he will be back. This is a LoShack and the Bag show, and I'm very honored to be his partner. I'm on the under 6 at -115. Let's keep rolling. Blues at Lightning. I know the Blues are playing very well right now. They're playing so well right now that we're getting value on the Lightning. We have guys in our chat who always take the Lightning, like Billy Exotic. Billy Exotic comes to mind, but there's others who always take the Lightning after a loss. And I don't always do it, but here I am doing it. Guys asking my man, Mr. Gokster, if he got laid in Costa Rica. It broke my heart that I couldn't hang with Gokster because of the pneumonia. I couldn't even see him. But I'm going to bring him on the show tomorrow so we can fire questions at him. Shout out to my man, Yais. But we can fire questions at Gokster about how his Costa Rica trip was. Lightning, -1.5. Yes, the Blues are playing well. Yes, St. Louis Elite told us they're a sleeping giant. Maybe they keep playing well. Ryan O'Reilly scored to extend his point streak to 8 games. Jordan Binnington playing well. Listen, the main thing to me is this is the final game of a 5-game trip. And I do not believe in the character in that dressing room. I think they want to go home. I think they're tired of being on the road. I'm taking them to not show up and the Lightning to play better here. So I'm on the Lightning -1.5. I like this spot quite a bit. We got to keep a brisk pace here because we got our man Babineaux joining us in no time. Getting huge numbers here. A +166 at Heritage. I'm just going to see if Bet365 will beat that for me. And they don't. +165. So +166 is the best we're going to get. And I will take it. But we got to keep a brisk pace. We got to keep rolling here. +166 -1.5. Book it. Bank it. Leche. Hey, los bookmakers. Oh, I'm starting to get a little energy and not falling apart. Okay. Stars at Predators. Okay. This is what Jamie Benn said. He said, we're taking ownership of our games personally and our game as a whole and as a group. Accountability is great. Early on in this one, this was their 5-4 win over the Coyotes last game. It wasn't pretty, but there were players stepping up in the dressing room and owning up to their poor play, and that's good to see. You know what, Jimmy Ben? Just because a couple of the guys on the team said I'm playing bad out there, and you like that, you like seeing it, I know who you really are, Jamie Ben. I know who you really are and why you were a first-round talent picked in the 5th round. I do not believe that you are taking ownership of this dressing room. I do not believe you are a leader in this dressing room, and I'm going to fade you every winning streak you are on. Stars coming off their 5th straight win. One of those victories was at Bridgestone Arena last Thursday. This Predators team is going to come back and smash them in the mouth. Philip Forsberg finally broke their 0-for-34 drought. Predators got 47 shots on goal. They could be getting Kyle Turris back. Austin Watson in rehab for alcohol abuse. All the guy needs is a little pneumonia. A little pneumonia, clean that alcohol abuse up. But, it still lingers. I can still feel alcohol tapping me on the shoulder. I'm on the Predators -1.5. And this makes me feel really good. Fading the Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. I know who you really are. Nashville, -1.5. I see a +165 at 5 times. We don't have a lot of time. I'm just going to take it. -1.5, +165. There you go. Okay, let's keep rolling right along. Oilers at Wild. This is an interesting spot. Wild coming off the 5-4 shootout loss to the Sabres. They've received the awful news about Mikko Koivu. He's done for the season. We know that if you take Koivu out of the center spot for the Wild and you replace him with Charlie Coyle, Coyle's a smart player, very smart offensive, but he's not strong defensively. I think this Wild team is going to start going towards a over-trending team. I really think they're going to be an over-trending team. Wild 1-0-2 since the All-Star break. Oilers are coming off that ugly 6-2 loss. And when I look here, now, I know that I've been fading the Oilers all year, and I took them against the Blackhawks. And listen, I'm going to get a +170 at 5 dimes to take him again here. Clefbaum's second game back. I'm going to do it. I feel like this is another spot with value on the Oilers. +170. Book it, bank it. I'm on the Oilers money line +170. And Richie Rich says Edmonton versus Minnesota over huge. That's what I just feel like that's the same. I agree with you, Richie Rich. Let's see what we get on the Edmonton Minnesota over here. Edmonton 5.5. Thank you, Richie Rich. Thank you very, very much. I wouldn't be on this if it wasn't for your help. Over 5.5 at minus 115. Oh, God, there's just so many games, and I need your guys' help so desperately, and that is a beautiful, beautiful help from my man, Richie Rich. Over 5.5 at minus 115. Shout out to Troy V. And King Rail was also on Lipscomb. Great, great stuff. Okay, let's keep rolling. Canucks at Blackhawks. Yeah, this Canucks team is a scrappy bunch. Now, Edler got a concussion. They're calling it a concussion now from that facial injury. It was very scary. Edler's absence is such a big blow. And I know they got the late goal. They still got 41 shots on goal. I'm a little timid. I'm a little timid to fade the Canucks team. I really, really am. But I am going to take it. I'm really going to take this Blackhawks team. I was really humming and hawing what was the best way to handle this spot. But I just feel like the Canucks, they've shown so much heart this year. And maybe I should stop doing this. Maybe I should stop fading them. The 6.5 seems quite high, especially with a Canucks team that's not scoring very much. But without Edler, I am going to take the Blackhawks minus 1.5. I'm getting a plus 195 here at 5 dimes. I'll quickly take a look and see if I can beat that. Plus 195 at 5 dimes. The Greek is also giving, plus 180. Wow. Okay, and Bet365 plus 180. Wow. So 5 dimes clearly giving me the best spot. We're almost on this hockey card, and we're not going to spend much time on it in the afternoon show. I'm on minus 1.5 Blackhawks at plus 195. Book it. Plus 195 5 times. Love it. Okay, let's keep rolling right along. Troy V says Kane is unstoppable. Troy V says Blackhawks don't bet against them. Listen, this was the big thing. Fred Gialli says Vancouver is tired, just happy to be heading home after this game. I agree, but he's taking Blackhawks money line. I get it. Listen, a big thing with this Blackhawks team, I said about it, I talked about all year, was why was their power play 31st in the league? It made no sense. I said, give me that power play on Xbox. I'll show you how I work it. Now, they're 11th in the league at 21.3%. That's the biggest difference with this Blackhawks team winning games right now. Now, Sharks, Flames. Listen, I'm going to stay off this spot. I've got futures on both these teams. I like focusing on futures in one division. Calgary's a 4-point lead in the game in hand on the Sharks. No Erik Karlsson. Sharks have won 3 straight, 10 of their last 13, and against very good teams. Calgary's on a 9-1-1 roll, well rested, coming off that 4-3 win at Carolina on Sunday night. I'm going to stay off of this spot. And then finally, yes, last game, Blue Jackets at Coyotes. I think the Blue Jackets are in a get-right spot. The Coyotes are playing better than I expected, but Kemper has joined this long list of wounded for the Coyotes. Jacob Chicherin, Jason Demare, Kevin Connaughton, all hurt on defense. Michael Grabner, Brad Richardson, Nick Schmaltz, Christian Dvorak, all hurt in the forward group. And despite this Blue Jackets slump that they're in, when they snapped that 5-game winning streak, 6-3 win at Colorado on Tuesday, they're 15-9-1 on the road. I'm going to take Columbus Blue Jackets minus 1.5. There's a plus 205, plus 208 at Heritage. I won't bother looking anywhere else because we don't have a lot of time. We got Babineaux joining us very soon. Plus 208. Okay, so let's quickly go over all the spots I'm on right now. And thank you guys all for your help. Headshot says, has Delia been confirmed or you don't care who's goalie? You like them anyways? No, I guess I would prefer Delia. I would prefer Delia, definitely. But I expect him to be in the lineup. 100%. I expect him to move forward with him. There's no reason to give Ward very many opportunities moving forward. Okay, Hurricanes at Sabres. I'm on over 6 at plus 100. Penguins at Panthers. I'm off. Islanders minus 1.5 at plus 215 at New Jersey. Kings at Flyers. I'm on the Flyers minus 1.5 at plus 171. Avalanche at Capitals. I'm on the Capitals minus 1.5 at plus. Oh, thank you, Enid. I'm feeling better, and it just this is what I have. This is my life, is being here with you guys. So I'm just so thankful to be back. Minus 1.5 at plus 185. Jets, Canadiens. I'm on the Jets money line at minus 107. Ducks minus 1.5. I'm going to get that reverse puck line very soon. And Brett Hunt asks, "What's your favorite play in NHL today?" I'm going to need some time. I'm going to need some time because there's just so many games. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. But maybe I'll take a look when Babineaux's on. So if you can give me a little bit more time. Golden Knights at Red Wings. I'm on the under 6 at minus 115. But if you were going to take a shot with the Red Wings, I would understand it. A lot of value there. Lightning minus 1.5 at plus 166 at home to the Blues. Predators minus 1.5 at plus 165 at home to the Stars. Oilers plus 170 money line and the over 5.5 at minus 115 against the Wild. Thank you. Shout out to Richie Rich. Jansen says, my birthday pick was missed a couple of weeks ago. I think Dan Kelly's right. I'm not the one that made birthday picks famous. It's Pete. It's our legend, Pete Loshak. I'm on the Blackhawks -1.5 and +195. What I will do is I'll give you my favorite NHL play of the day, but I think that's what we should leave it at, as it's not a birthday pick because it's something that our Pete made famous. Blue Jackets -1.5 +2.8. I love this NHL card. I love all these plus lines moving forward. Let's get to NBA right now. Another record I haven't seen in a long time. Can you please throw up the record in NBA, Rafa? Very, very, very interested in this record. I guess it's going to be popping up any minute. Plus 14.5 units. Really? God, I thought I was higher than that. But I guess there's been a couple. Okay. Plus 14.5. You know, I can do better. I can be better, but I need help from the great NBA cappers that we roll with. Okay. Clippers at Pacers. Let's roll over here. And we got Babineaux joining us shortly. Clippers will be without, as you guys know, Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, and Mike Scott after they were traded to the Sixers. All the three guys coming in, Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, are not expected to be in the lineup. They're coming off a 117-115 comeback victory at Charlotte on Tuesday night. That success was all about Harris and Scott. I mean, Harris and Scott went 9 for 11 from 3. They shot 75% from 3. Gallinari is questionable. He's extremely important to this play. Jansen says, I'll take your best NHL pick of the day. Cool, yeah, that's what I'll look for. Pacers are coming off that beatdown of the Lakers in Indiana, largest margin of defeat in LeBron James' career. After losing their first 4 games with Victor Oladipo out for the season, they've now won 3 straight. They're healthy other than Doug McDermott, who every time I call out Doug McDermott, he steps up, but I just think he's a pretty useless player right now. Dan Kelly said, this is pretty damn good. Parlay San Antonio Spurs +6 and San Antonio Portland over 226. That is absolutely beautiful. This is a tough card with all the changes that are expected to be made. And that's why I think that a lot of the decisions we make here should be made on the late show when we cap this NBA card one more time, because we're not going to spend too much time on the NHL card. So that's what's up. Shout out to Anna Merrick. He'll be live on the show. King Rail says, be careful with that -6.5. If you have the cash, take the money line Pacers or parlay with Celtics money line. Very interesting. It's a strange, tricky spot. I know they're going to need old 2-girlfriend Lou Will to step up and put up 40, and he seems to be able to do it. There's Nate the Great saying, Lou Will, prop bet, best. Shout out to Brant Hunt and all you guys for supporting the show, because we won't have one if it isn't for you guys, and it means the world to Pete and I. So let's just take a quick look at what's going on with the market here in NBA, and then see if we can find angles, because I've not made a plan on anything yet. So here we go. Let's go to spreads and totals. And we're going to start with this Pacers game. Pacers -6 now. Open at -4 bet online, and this total hasn't moved at 217. Yeah, sorry, what am I talking about? We're talking about the Clippers at Pacers. So -6. I just think it's very, very difficult. Oh, and Angel Romero coming in with his soccer morning pick. Napoli, first half money line -135 and -1 and -115. Shout out. Fred Gialli says, all my NBA tweeted picks cash in except for Rockets over. Great job. Great job. Tim Rose says, Lakers show up with the right feeling state. What the hell are Lakers going to do? Why don't we move up to that game right now? Oh, but Gegard says, I'm all over the Clippers. And Gallinari is not questionable. He is playing. Wow. Very interesting stuff. Because I've got Danilo Gallinari questionable Thursday. It'll be interesting to see what the Clippers do with Gallinari after Harris is traded. Very, very interesting. Thank you for letting us know. Dan Kelly says, Clippers under, and then Indiana -6. Wow. Okay, so let's keep rolling along. Why don't we just go in order here, because we're going to have the man Babineaux joining us in no time. Let's go with Timberwolves at Magic. This is a Timberwolves team without a point guard right now with all the injuries, and they're a hard team to back. Orlando -1.5 right now, moved up from -1. I think that Orlando should be the spot here. Timberwolves coming off that 108-106 loss at Memphis. Saric had his best game in a Timberwolves uniform. Wolves are said to be shopping Jeff Teague. He's not going to play tonight with a foot injury, even if he is going to stay on the team. All the Wolves point guards are banged up, as I said. Rose and Jones both dealing with ankle injuries. Robert Covington out of the line with a knee injury. The only advantage they have is Cat over Vucevic, and Cat has had his number. Towns has outscored Vucevic 70-46 in the last 3 head-to-heads, with Timberwolves winning all 3. Magic have lost 5 of their last 7, coming off Tuesday's 132-122 loss at Oklahoma City. I thought they played pretty well in that game. Jonathan Simmons questionable, Mo Bamba out. I feel like the Magic are the play here. So that's just a lean right now. I really want to talk this out with all these great cappers that we have. So that's a lean. I lean towards the Magic. I really feel like they're the spot. We'll see if Terrence Ross gets traded, but I like them quite a bit. Let's move up to Raptors at Hawks. Raptors have beaten the Hawks 6 straight times, but Hawks seem to keep games closer than we expect. Open -10 at Toronto at BetOnline, now -9. Total's gone up to 233. Jeremy Miller says, I'm on Magic. Brent Hunt liking the over in that spot. Very, very interesting. Raptors beating the Hawks 6 straight, as I said, but that was a barely win against the at home against the Hawks on January 8th. They won 104-101. Raptors are 8-4 since that game. Raptors coming off that very impressive 119-107 win at Philadelphia. They obviously got up for that game. I wasn't expecting them to get up. Valanciunas is almost back. He may be back tonight. Hawks are coming off that 137-129 win at Washington. Prince scored 12 of his 21 in the fourth. Huerter had another great game. John Collins is a face injury, but will play tonight, and they dominated from three-point in that game. Fred Jelly says Magic is good at home. Magic is the play. Jeremy Miller also on the Magic. I just needed some support for this spot. I want to take it, and I will take it. Thank you guys for your help. I'm going to get the Magic -1.5. Are there any ones on the board? -1.5 and -105. See if quickly just if there's any ones on the board. And there is not. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to take Magic -1.5 and -105. Thank you guys for your help. I'm backing it -1.5 and -105. All right, Babineaux is almost here. I see him in my peripheral vision. We've got a couple more NBA games to cap, but maybe he can just sit with us and give us some insight for that. There's no point to keep a star like Babineaux on the bench. Babineaux, my man, thank you so much for joining Low Shack in the Bag. How are you?
You have been released from sick bed purgatory, Jimmy. Clearly, you're back in action and back on the show. It's good to see you back where you belong.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, it was just heartbreaking not to be part of the Betcast in that penthouse in Hako. It's just not where I want to be. Wow. And Dan Kelly, Minnesota, first quarter, first half, full game, all money line, a third of a unit each. God damn it. And Miss J saying Valanciunas will play tonight. Have you looked at all at this NBA card? Because I wouldn't mind just touching on these last 3 games before we move on to other stuff.
With the NBA, I'm a selective handy better when it comes to NBA during the regular season. Very selective, only bet it occasionally. And on a day like today, trade deadline day, players coming, players going, starting lineups having to be adjusted on the fly because of possible transactions that take place before that deadline. This is one day out of the year. If there's one day that I am in absolutely no rush to bet NBA basketball, today is that day. So, Jimmy, I wish you all the best, but I can't help you out here.
Okay. I feel you. I guess let me just quickly touch on, and we'll hammer these games late. We've gone through all the games. So the 3 games we have is Lakers, Celtics. I mean, I guess we got to wait to make a decision here, but I really feel like the Celtics should be the play here at almost any number. And there could be a massive move today, which is seeming less and less likely as it goes on. But Boston at 8.5, that seems like something I should jump on right now. Lakers at Celtics with everything the Lakers are going through. Kyrie Irving is going to be in the lineup. Marcus Morris is going to be in the lineup. Robert Williams questionable. Aaron Baines is out. And then Grizzlies, Thunder. The Thunder are just a tricky team to back as a giant favorite. They're just a tricky team to back as a giant favorite. They barely covered that Orlando game. They covered it by a half point. Here they're 14-point favorites against a Memphis team, who knows what the hell they're going to have in their lineup. Obviously, Westbrook going for his, 8 straight triple-double. Paul George averaging 35.9 points per game during Westbrook's streak. Gasol's going to be held out. And King Rail saying best-looking bet is Raptors -9. Very, very interesting. I feel like the Celtics are going to be the play here, but I'm going to wait one more second. Spurs, Blazers, Spurs on the second half of a back-to-back. We're going to hammer these games hard on the late show. Derek White missed the last 2 games with plantar fasciitis. He's a huge loss. He was rolling, man. He was absolutely rolling, hitting 47.1% from 3 before he went down. San Antonio had won 5 in a row before these 2 losses. They rested Aldridge and DeRozan last night. It's going to be a little bit of time, but you know what? I'm going to support exactly what I was thinking with the Celtics here. I'm going to take these Boston Celtics. I see a -8.5, a -107 at 5 dimes, and I'm going to take them. Celtics full game, -8.5 at -107. And so those are going to be my 2 spots here so far. I'm very interested that King Rail likes the Raptors the way he does. I might look into that more. But right now, I'm on the Celtics -8.5 at -107. I'm on the Magic. Dave L.A. says Thunder first half, easy. Gerald Martinez says Blazers are the play. Wow, Thunder first half, easy. That might be an interesting spot, but that's a lot of points. I'm going to copy and paste that Dave LA so I can keep that going. Gerald Martinez saying Blazers play Sean Robertson, screaming out Babineaux's name. And we got to get Babineaux talking. So Babineaux, I'm going to do a little copy and pasting here. But what do you want to focus on? Because, you're such a well-rounded capper. And we love hearing your college basketball. And that's where I need the most help because I focus on NHL and NBA. But are there any spots on this giant ice hockey card that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Jimmy, NHL, I'm good. College basketball, I'm good. Yeah, well, I know you really hammered the NHL card already, so we'll go quickly through that, things I'm looking at. The Islanders I don't know how this money's coming in on New Jersey the way it is. We just saw this team lose to the LA Kings the other night at home. That's pretty hard to do. And the New Jersey Devils somehow did it. This is just not a team in a good place right now. The sell-off has already started. Brian Boyle getting traded. A lot of injuries to this hockey team right now. People aren't talking enough about the absence of Sami Vatanen on this hockey team. He plays in all situations on the blue line. It is a huge loss for a defense that's not very good to begin with. It's not very good with Vatanen, the bottom line. It's even worse without him. So there's issues with Jersey. I think Islanders are starting to look cheap there, minus 125 in that game. When Montreal Canadiens have been on a great run, there's no question about that. But you start to look at some of the competition lately, feasted on a lot of sisters of the poor. They really have. They've beaten some weaker teams. The schedules come up nice and peachy for them. It's going to change in a hurry. You got Winnipeg tonight. You have a big showdown with Toronto on Hockey Day in Canada coming up on Saturday. We're going to see what the Montreal Canadiens are all about. They've had a great season. They're unexpectedly got a chance to make the playoffs. They've done a really, really good job getting some of these young players to step up. Philippe Deneau, Kotkaniemi. The back end's been good. Mete's been good. Weber's been able to stay healthy for a bit. So there's a Price has bounced back and been great in net. So a lot to like with Montreal, but they're going to be tested. I know there's the case to be made for Winnipeg off a loss. I'm leaning Winnipeg too, but I want to sit back more and see how Montreal handles this step up in competition. Maybe they can handle it. Maybe they can. I'm going to see what they do here. How can I not bet another Chicago game over the total? We've got this has been something, Jimmy, that I've pretty much done every single game. Let's just bet Chicago Blackhawks games over the total. And I think I've lost one in the last 12 or 13. I mean, this is just an over machine. They're a terrible defensive team. Their goaltending, whether it's Cam Ward or Colin Delia, is not usually NHL caliber on most nights. And they're scoring goals in bunches right now. Their best offensive players, they're all percolating. They're all producing at this point in time. Pat Kane's been amazing. Alex DeBrincat has been excellent offensively for this team. Their power play, much maligned, is on fire right now, finally getting some power play goals. And, that's the one issue Blackhawk fans, and I know a bunch of them, Jimmy, they had an issue with the power play when Joel Quenneville was the head coach of this team. This power play stinks. How on earth can this team have such a bad power play? Well, lo and behold, here's Jeremy Colleton now the coach. And since he's become the head coach after Joel Quenneville got fired, that's really when the improvements and the production started to increase with this Chicago power play. So I think Jeremy Colleton's, imprint on this team has really made a difference with them. The bottom line is they're scoring goals and they're giving up goals. And Vancouver without Alex Edler is a worse defensive team by far. I mean, he's great in his own zone. I think they're going to struggle defensively. You look at it, they're giving up a lot of shots, a lot of A-quality chances. Markstrom's bailed them out a lot on those chances. Can't bail them out forever. You're giving up the kind of high danger scoring chances that Vancouver is on a regular basis. You're going to start giving up more goals. That could happen tonight against a red hot Chicago team. So I like over 6.5 with the Vancouver Chicago game.
Great stuff there. First off, Babineaux on the Islanders money line, I agree very, very much. I loved what they were saying after that loss to Boston. I'm on the minus 1.5. What you said about the Habs, I've been wrong about the Habs this year. I'm on the Jets. I'm just taking the money line. It's one of the few times I don't do that. I do that. I'm concerned about the Canucks offensively. 41 shots in the Capitals game, and they put up 2 goals. They didn't look very good in that spot. But if you're crushing those overs, I say jump all over that. It's a great look. I like all your looks very, very much. Also, I'm on the Ducks reverse puck line. And I just got it while Babineaux was talking. I got plus 285 on the Ducks, minus 1.5, plus 285. Is there anything else you're looking at in NHL, or should we head off to college basketball?
Yeah, quickly in the NHL, that is a pass for me, that game, Anaheim, Ottawa. I can't trust either team. I don't want Ottawa in a back-to-back spot. after losing in Toronto last night. I can't trust Anaheim. I will say this: John Gibson's been pulled in multiple games recently, and if you've watched Anaheim, none of it is his fault. He has got a absolute Chinese fire drill going on in front of him on a nightly basis. It is not good at all. What I'm seeing from the Ducks defensively in front of him, it's been ugly. Can't hold any of it on John Gibson, but John Gibson's back in net tonight, maybe with a chip on his shoulder, point to prove. But, he's just had such a bad defense in front of him that even as hard as he tries and as well as he plays, he still can't overcome turnovers, bad puck management right in front of his crease. And that's been a routine problem lately with Anaheim during this absolutely dismal run. You got to believe Randy Carlyle is going to be shown the door at the end of the season, especially if they don't make the playoffs. But I'm passing that game. Calgary, another over trend that I've really been riding is Calgary overs at home. The Saddle Dome has been an over bonanza for Calgary. I believe there's something like 19-6 to the over at home this season, the Calgary Flames. 19-6. I mean, it is absolutely, they've been just absolutely an over machine. Scoring goals, they've given up some as well. They're playing San Jose. And from what I've read, there's a little bit of bad blood with these two teams. Both teams are hinting it could be chippy. We could get a lot of physical play, rough stuff, scrums after the whistle. What does that mean? It means we could see more penalties. What does that mean for betting totals when there's more penalties? More chances for the power play, more chances for goals. So they think a chippy game, more penalties. Both teams are hinting that way. San Jose's trended over on the road. Calgary's trended over at home. Both of these teams can score. Both of these teams little iffy at times in terms of puck prevention. So I know it's 6.5 and it's a little juice, but this is another thing I've been riding a lot. Calgary overs, and I think San Jose and Calgary could see some goals in it as well.
Yeah, it's we saw them last time they played. Very emotional game, 8-5, and I don't know if you
shootout.
noticed,
Yep, track meet. It was a track meet.
It was wild, and it was passionate. But Babineaux, I have just $100 on these bets, but I made them official plays here. I have the Flames to win the Cup at 28-1, win the West at 14-1, win the division at plus 560, and then a while back I doubled up. I put 300 on the Flames to win the division at plus 180, and I put 500 on the Sharks to win the division at plus 200. And then I was like, oh my God, are the Knights going to cost me $900? I really was like, the Knights are going to cost me $900, and then they started losing. I'm much, much, much more comfortable. I like your looks. I like those teams very much, and I like your looks a lot. It's just great to have you capping with us. I'm really excited that you're going to be doing Thursday mornings with us. And then, and shout out to the guys in the chat. My chat's broken right now. I don't have, something's wrong with my password, so I can't give you guys love back. But shout out to Joy Jack and all these great cappers that are joining us right now. So, Babineaux, I like your looks on the ice tonight, and I'm very excited to hear what you're thinking about on this giant college basketball card. But I don't want to rush you. Is there anything else you got in hockey?
That's about it. I mean, I still might bet Winnipeg. I think you're onto something too with Carolina Buffalo. Buffalo's been trending over the total lately as well. Score the only under I think for Buffalo in their last 7 or 8 games was against Dallas, and they're pretty much the number 1 under team in the NHL. They've had trouble scoring goals, but they've been solid defensively most of the season. So that's been the only under for Buffalo. So I could make a case for that game going over the total. Other than that, just let me look quickly. Edmonton, Minnesota's tough. Minnesota losing Koivu's big. I don't know if I can trust Edmonton. Another ugly collapse the other night against Chicago, but there's no way I can lay that kind of price with Minnesota. Looks like another game I'd pass on. Pittsburgh, Florida's a tough game. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. The ones I mentioned. I like Islanders. I like Vancouver, Chicago over the total. San Jose, Calgary over the total. Lean Winnipeg. I still might bet that, but that's what we're looking at right now.
I love it. I absolutely love where you're at. I'm also on Winnipeg. Well, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but I love where you're at. I love how you're looking. And but where I need so much help because of this giant NCAA basketball card. I'm trying to not let overwhelm me. Jesus, there's a lot of games tonight, Babineaux. What are you looking at, my man?
Yeah, Thursday college basketball means you get a lot of Horizon League basketball games. You get a lot of Colonial Athletic Association games. Conference USA's got a bunch of games. Ohio Valley in play tonight as well. I've got a game I've zeroed in on in the Conference USA. It's Florida International, Texas San Antonio. UTSA was in an absolute barn burner over the weekend. They defeated Marshall in a wild overtime game. Marshall, of course, a pretty good team in Conference USA. John Elmore, terrific guard, great offensive team, great coach, and Dan D'Antoni, brother of Mike D'Antoni. So you know what style they play. They go up and down the basketball court. UTSA with a big-time win over them. Now they're back home. It was an emotional win. It was an exhausting win. We're laying 7.5 at home against an underdog that, is not great defensively, FIU, but they play fast. They're very similar to the way Marshall plays, one of the quickest tempo-paced teams in college basketball, and they can flat out score. It's a very good offensive team. I'm worried about the spot here for Texas A&M. It's such a great win, a big win for them. You can take about 7.5 right now, best available number with FIU. I think they catch UTSA in a little bit of a letdown spot tonight, and this is a lot of points to be given a team that offensively is very capable, and I think FIU plus points is a good way to go in that game.
Very, very interesting look. I love the breakdown. It makes a ton of sense. FIU plus 7.5 right now at some books. Very, very interesting. Love it. What else are you looking at?
We're looking at Washington tonight against Arizona. Now I understand Arizona home team, at national TV, step up game against the top team in the conference. I understand that, and I think that's kind of why Arizona's taken some money here. I just don't think this Arizona team, though, is even close to as talented as they've been in years past. They recently got Chase Jeter back. They got Carlton Bragg, who was a guy that played at Kansas earlier in his college basketball career. I understand that, but this is still not Sean Miller type of Arizona basketball that we've seen this season. They've just not been as good. And the thing that concerns me here for Arizona against Washington, who have clearly so far put themselves out there as the best team in this Pac-12 conference. It's not a very good conference this season. It's down. This is a very, very mediocre at best Pac-12 this season, but Washington's shown themselves to be the best team, and I'm concerned for the matchup for Arizona. You got to have shooters. You got to have that ability to hit some shots from the perimeter, from the outside when you're facing a 2-3 zone, which is what Washington plays. Mike Hopkins brought the 2-3 zone with him to Washington. He's a disciple of Jim Boeheim because he was an assistant there at Syracuse for years. Arizona, to me, does not match up well against the zone. And in fact, the numbers bear it out. They've struggled against that type of team that plays that style of basketball. They don't have the shooters they do. They go on droughts offensively. That's not good. And I just saw Washington absolutely put the clamp down on USC in a home game recently, and it was the same kind of thing. USC was not really a team that was adept to attack a zone. I think that could be the case here with Arizona as well. And again, from a talent perspective, I just don't see it right now with this Arizona team. So I know these are spot bettors. Spot handicappers are going to love Arizona here. It's the spot. It's at home. Washington's due for a loss. They can't win every game in conference play, but I can't get over the fact that I just don't think this matchup works. I think this matchup stinks as far as I'm concerned for Arizona. So at a pick 'em price, even on the road, I'll take my chances here with the Washington Huskies. They're a very good basketball team. David Crisp, Matisse Thybulle, Noel. This is a good basketball team. They've proven it. I think they can go on the road and get a win here.
Oh, man, another very, very interesting breakdown. I love this stuff. Babineaux, what else are you looking at today?
Yeah, what are we not looking at more than anything in college basketball on a day like today? You're looking at a lot of things. We've seen the total bump up a little bit with Iowa, Indiana, Big Ten matchup. Indiana laying 2.5, 3, 148 the total. Very tricky game. I know people are taking Indiana. There's a lot of Indiana money coming in here. They're at home. But they're coming off a big-time win against Michigan State, that overtime game against the Spartans on Saturday in East Lansing. It's a big-time win for Indiana in that game. It's not exactly the greatest of spots. It snapped an ugly, and I mean ugly, 7-game losing streak as well for the Hoosiers. Definitely Archie Miller's team. They've had a difficult run of it. They've had trouble offensively. They finally broke out a little bit against Michigan State. Juwan Morgan, by the way, he's been upgraded to probable. That's big for Indiana. He had left the last game with a shoulder injury, but he is good to go tonight against Iowa. That's big for them. They need him on the basketball court, and that's probably going to help them a little bit offensively. Iowa, to me, coming off a nice win themselves, 74-59 last week, home win. They've been off since that Friday night home win last week against Michigan. Played very well. On the road, though, I've noticed a very disturbing trend, and I'm sure Fran McCaffrey knows about it too. They've not been good defensively on the road. 92 points allowed to Minnesota. 82 points allowed on the road against a pedestrian Penn State team that hasn't had a great season on the offensive end of the court. They give up 63 to Northwestern, but Northwestern's had their issues offensively. They've had troubles. Then they give up 86 to Purdue. So they're 4 Big Ten road games, Iowa. They've given up 82 or more in 3 of those 4 games. And the only time they didn't was Northwestern, which again, as a very mediocre, I think below average team offensively. So I think Indiana gets a little boost of confidence with their performance shooting the ball. They were better at that end of the court against Michigan State in the overtime win. Iowa's defense has been largely bad on the road. I think Indiana's going to score here, but Iowa, I think, is going to score some points as well. That's where Iowa's strength is. They're pretty good offensively. Joe Wieskamp is good. Jordan Bohannon's good. Luka Garza has been a force for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think they'll be able to score points. We've got a over-trending head-to-head series recently between these two teams. They've cashed overs in 5 of the last 6 meetings head-to-head. The total is in the high 140s right now. It's actually been bet up a little bit already. I'm in agreement with that move. I think it gets up and over.
Up and over the total. 3 really nice spots here. Shout out to Geghard A. Says, Jimmy, it's so awesome to see all these minds working, trying to find winners. It's really hard to go on losing streaks when you got this great community of cappers working together. And shout out to Tim Bradshaw. Says, so glad to be able to listen in and follow the chat. Such a wealth of info. Thanks to all of you. Is there anything, quickly, we're going to bring in Maxwell Smart here to hear what he's looking at, just to help our study in the afternoon. But is there any spots that you think that we should really kind of look into? I know these first 3 spots are great, but is there anything else just to help us for our afternoon study? It's just key spots that you think we should look into?
Yeah, I mean, this card's always interesting because you don't usually have those huge matchups, but you've got those, again, you got a couple Big Ten matchups that are interesting. You've got you got a lot of mid-major stuff going on tonight, which is always interesting as well. You've got Cincinnati-Memphis is an interesting game. Cincinnati's laying 4 in that game. It's creeped up a little bit. Memphis has shown a little bit of capability on their home court. Remember, they had blasted Central Florida recently at home, this Memphis team. Penny Hardaway sort of implementing this full court pressure, up-tempo style of basketball. And, Memphis, from what I've heard, he's recruiting very, very well there. It's not showing up yet. It will show up as early as next season. This recruiting class that he's about to bring in is going to get improved. He's attracting better players than predecessors did here with this Memphis program, namely Josh Pastner. And I think that's going to bode well. Hey, he's Penny Hardaway. There's going to be kids out there that want to play for the guy, and you can understand why. He's a guy that had a very, very good NBA career for a long time. Now he's coaching in the college ranks. That's something that's attractive to a lot of young kids. So, Memphis, I understand Cincinnati's really starting to play their best. They're really starting to put their best foot forward, play some really, really good basketball. But at some point, there's going to be a time where if this number keeps climbing, I'm a little bit interested in Memphis. They've shown the ability to hang tough, be a tough out here at the FedEx Forum on their home court. And I think, knowing that Cincinnati's coming in here, Memphis is one of those teams where if they're going to make a run at going into the NCAA tournament, the AAC right now, there's probably only a couple of teams that are for sure in the tournament, Cincinnati and Houston. I think there's definitely, other than that, who else is going to be in it? We don't know yet. But Memphis, you want to build your resume, you got to be able to try to win games like this. And I think they bring their best effort here. So it's 4 right now. I'm going to see if it continues to climb, but definitely have Memphis circled as a potential play there.
I love that. Matt Randall also leaning Memphis with you. Babineaux liking Florida International, a +7.5. Washington at a pick'em and liking the over in Iowa, Indiana. Thank you so much for joining us, Babineaux. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what else are you doing this week where we can watch you?
Twitter at Babineaux. I'll post a bunch of plays daily on there, NHL, college basketball. I'll do that today as well, as I always do. I do play of the day videos daily for Sportsbook Review here, so be on the lookout for that in NHL and college basketball. And you can still see me Saturdays for the college basketball closing line show, myself and Drew Martin. We will be going over the big loaded Saturday college basketball card, 11 a.m. Eastern time, right here on the SBR YouTube channel. College basketball closing line Saturday, myself and Drew Martin. If you're a college basketball fan and better, you don't want to miss it.
Oh, that's great stuff, Babineaux. Babineaux, if I was in Toronto, I would be picking you up. I would be taking you down to Buffalo tonight because the Hurricanes are in town. We get cheap tickets. We go to Dinosaur Barbecue for a little peanut butter pie. We go to Seneca Casino to park for free. We get the $10 voucher to play afterwards. Hit 716 and start getting drunk. Me in my Mobile, New Jersey, you know we'd be doing that. And I can't wait till I'm back in Canada going down to Buffalo Sabres games with you. Much love to Babineaux. Thank you so much for joining us. I see in my peripheral vision, Maxwell Smart. Oh, man. Okay, please. Everything's going well. Oh, God.
Hey, Jimmy. How you doing today? Obviously, last night was a mixed bag. I had a pretty bad feeling about that Duquesne game, and unfortunately, the nightmare came true. Today, with this loaded card, we're going to have a lot of action. I've already identified a bunch of favorites and a bunch of underdogs that I'm going to be looking at in the afternoon, so I'm just going to get right to it. I think that Troy, I think that Drexel, I think that College of Charleston and Western Kentucky are all good-looking favorites in the 4 to 6 point range today. I think that Gardner-Webb against Longwood is going to have to continue this domination. I think that Longwood has shown us in the past couple games that if they're not hitting a 3-point shot, they don't have much offense and they're not playing enough defense to even probably cover this 1.5 points. I think Monmouth is worth a look also. Definitely going to be looking at Northeastern, watching the Hofstra game over. Definitely gave me a reality check on how good this Northeastern team is and how much scoring depth they have. I think that Chattanooga is going to be in a really good spot to beat VMI tonight. So I definitely want you guys to check that out. And if you can get Weber State at -3 or -3.5 against Southern Utah, I think that anyone that watches that conference is going to have to jump on Weber. So I'll definitely be looking towards that. As far as dogs, I think that Charlotte's live tonight. I think that Western Carolina can really surprise Furman. I think Nebraska, Omaha, and Coastal Carolina are small dogs. I don't like to go against my Texas State, but I think that App State has just really elevated their game in conference play. They burned me on a couple tickets, and I'm going to be looking towards them tonight, +7.5 or +8. And then as far as some other low-key dogs that I think have value, I think Campbell and Florida Atlantic have some value tonight, and Western Illinois with Kobe Webster, and Oakland with Xavier Rath and Mays. So that's what I'm going to be looking at in the afternoon. Obviously, I'll have a lot more games capped for the late show. But that's something for you guys to get started on and take a look at, and obviously base it on your own capping and not completely on my opinion, because obviously sometimes I do get served the cock soup, aka the Duquesne game last night.
Yeah, you know, it's I'm back. Thank you for taking over there, Max. I'm back. I guess I started thinking about getting drunk in Buffalo and my lung almost collapsed, but I'm back. I'm back in action. Max, I love this. Now, I'm going to have to watch that again because you went through the game so quickly. I'm going to have to watch it again, take a look at the market. But I love hearing what you are on. We also have Mark Lathrop joining us. He has St. Mary's under 136, Eastern Washington over 155, Washington moneyline, Weber State -3 and over 153 parlay, and Winthrop over 165. Max, I was certain, and I'm not kidding, I was certain that we were going to bounce back yesterday. I tailed 6 of the plays that you were on. One was a +150 money line casher. One was a +105 casher. Went 4 and 2. I tell you, Max, I have an enormous amount of faith in your NCAA capping. Now, I've got to go over all those games quickly. Babineaux's on Florida International +7.5. Washington Pick'em over Iowa, Indiana, and Memphis at home. JC Alvarez says best player, high confidence plays. I mean, Max can answer that, but I know how Max works, and it's going to take a lot more study and a lot more work, unless he's trying to beat a line move. Is there a spot on this card that you might get in early to beat an expected line move?
Well, the line's already moved in the game that I was going to suggest that the low baggers get on now, and it's Hawaii. I think that Hawaii as a 1.5 or a 1 point favorite still has value against Long Beach State tonight. The key to beating Long Beach State is not to let Deshaun Booker get to the free throw line. That's where he scores a lot of his points. And we've seen that in the past couple games. He's put up 29. He's put up 32. And I think that the key in this rematch, which Long Beach is going to be playing with revenge, I think that you got to contain Mason Riggins. Because if you contain Mason Riggins, he's not dominating you in the below 3-point perimeter area. I think that this is a guy that Long Beach really needs as a complementary scorer. And I think that on the offensive glass, Hawaii's going to have a big advantage. They had a big advantage in the first game, winning 10-5. I think that they shared the ball really nicely in the first game. And I think that's another key and part of the formula for them covering and winning tonight. And as always, a team that you're betting on, a team that you have faith on, you got to hope that they don't turn the ball over.
Max, great breakdowns. It's so nice to have you in the morning show, just giving certain games to look at, and then come in on the afternoon show and smash this giant college basketball card. So, Max, the way I see it, I'd like to get you in earlier on these Thursdays. So I'll give you a message, but let's get you in before the 6 o'clock Eastern time when you've been coming, because we just have too many games to break down. Max, you are awesome. I hear you have a big day today, right? You have my show and King's Court. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what else are you up to this week?
Yeah, you can find me at Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter. I'm trying to post some plays, hopefully some winners. Last night wasn't the case, but I'm definitely going to be on there putting out stats and tidbits about players that I'm looking at. And I think that I got to leave you with one extra dog to take a look at for your afternoon study. This is a game that's going to start when I come on the late show, and I think that Farley Dickinson on the road versus Sacred Heart as a 4-point dog is going to have some value. This is an experienced team. This is a team that hits free throws, and I think that they're worth a shot on the money line straight up. Sacred Heart's been tough at home, but I think that this matchup is going to be a real test to the caliber of team that they're putting out.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Max. And before we shut her down, I was asked what my favorite play in the NHL is tonight. And I really feel like taking Brian Boyle out of that New Jersey Devils dressing room, that the Islanders -1.5 at +215 is my favorite spot. But the more and more I think about the Jets coming off a loss to the Sharks, I like them. I think price is a little dangerous. But yes, I would say my favorite spot is the New York Islanders coming in. And this is the time of year when the bad teams start letting go and going after that number 1 overall pick, which is widely available. The Devils will have I think the Devils start losing out not on purpose, but start losing out, getting rid of whatever pieces they have. They already have two number 1 overall picks in Hersher and Taylor Hall, and now they're going to look for another one coming up. Maxwell Smart, thank you so much for joining us. Babineaux, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back at 5:30 Eastern time. All of the incredible cappers in the chat, thank you guys so much for giving us the goods, being funny, giving us your insights. We have no show without you guys. You guys, let's take it to the bank. We're coming off a winning night. Let's have a bigger winning night. Lecce, Halos bookmakers. Good luck in your afternoon study. I'll see you guys soon.